Welcome to the high ticket marketing formula. You only need 3 things to make this work: podcast content, LinkedIn, and Loom. And that is it. In English, what this is going to do is it's going to attract the right leads to you. And through this, you're going to understand why once I take you from end to end. The other thing you need to know is this is advanced, but it's simple. On paper, this is the most advanced high-ticket marketing system, organic marketing system that exists. And at the same time, it's also the most efficient because it involves you, the founder, if you are the face. It only involves about 30 minutes a week. And so this system is set up for you to be the talent, aka the subject matter expert, aka the person who knows their shit, for you to be the person on camera, and then for your team to execute. And that's what we do. But that piece of it is not as relevant. Today, we're diving into the exact formula that we use to generate high ticket sales, in most cases without even booking a call. And you're going to see how that happens here today. So this is the high ticket marketing formula, and I'm just going to take you through step by step. So the first step of this process is the funnel itself, and I'm going to zoom out so you can see that. So first of all, when it comes to marketing, we have 3 stages, 3 big stages: top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel. When it comes to organic marketing, meaning social media content, podcast content, all the things that you do without paying for the result, that's organic marketing. Now, we're putting this into a formula, right? It's not exact. It doesn't mean that marketing is only top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom funnel, and then that's it, right? Obviously, this does not reflect one-to-one real life, but when we go ahead and do this, we do have to have a system, so that's going to make our lives easier. Within the top of funnel, middle of funnel, and bottom of funnel, we have stages. So I'm going to explain the difference between each stage as it relates to the top of funnel, the middle of the funnel, and the bottom of the funnel. Say that 5 times fast, and you got a tongue twister on your hands, folks. So let's get into it. This first stage we have here is creating content / wants to create content. So the first stage of this funnel is, what do people who don't even have the problem that you solve consume? What is their mindset? For us, it's podcasting and LinkedIn combined to generate leads. That is our system. So for people who don't even need us yet, they're just either creating content or maybe they want to create content. So say, whoever you are out there consuming this, we appreciate you. You could be at this stage. Maybe you have no idea who I am. And at this rate, you're just creating some content online, but maybe you don't have a plan, right? Or you could be this close to buying from me, and in that case, you're not going to be in this stage, right? But the first stage of this is the awareness stage, the top of the funnel, letting people know what these things are, okay? Along with that stage, we have a podcast episode that matches up. In this case, it's B2B marketing strategies for founders. So before I try to sell somebody on what I do, I have to give them the sauce. I have to show them the value. I have to show them, hey, this is what you're missing out on if you don't do this, or hey, this is what people who are doing this is the results they're getting, right? So maybe if you did that, you could get these results. And that is the top of the funnel. And corresponding with that podcast episode, we then have a post. In this case, this is the B2B marketing strategy for founders LinkedIn post. If you want to know how this really works, just go on my LinkedIn. You can literally watch what I do. Just look at all the posts and then go and emulate it yourself, right? That would be an easy way. Moving on to stage 2 of the top of the funnel. So we're getting deeper into the funnel as we go here. Stage 2 is, okay, they're not ready to buy, but they do know that you exist and they know what you do, and they might have a little bit of interest in doing it. If you sell SEO services, right? They might know that, hey, yeah, our website's not optimized, but I'm not ready to hire anybody. I'm not even considering getting help for it just yet. There's a lot of other things we have to do. That would be stage 2 out of the 5 stages of the funnel, right? So that stage, if you're a law firm, right? That means, hey, maybe they follow you on Instagram, but they're not getting divorced yet, or they didn't get into a car accident yet. Maybe they know somebody that does, right? And then say you're a financial advisor, right? This is somebody at this stage 2 level where, yeah, I mean, I might want to hire somebody to help me with my money, but I'm pretty confident. I kind of, maybe I dabbled in investing in the past, and I get it. I'll follow you. I'll take your advice, but I'm not going to hire anybody. I'm not really considering hiring somebody just yet. I'm trying to get my finance in order myself first. Okay, so that is the top of your funnel. That is, what is somebody who doesn't even know you? What mindset are they in? And then number 2, somebody who maybe does know you, but definitely isn't considering buying anything from you yet. So you can see here on the video version, we have corresponding podcast episodes, and then we have corresponding posts to each. And again, if you want to actually go see these posts, you can go search me on LinkedIn, Ryan R. Sullivan, and you can find all these posts that I'm talking about. Okay, let's get to the most controversial part in the funnel, the middle. The middle of anything, whether it's Central Jersey, there's a huge debate about that. Central, anywhere, right? Is it north? Is it south? This is what we're experiencing here in the middle of the funnel. The middle of the funnel it's kind of like a myth. You know what I'm saying? Like, it exists, but it's kind of hard to pinpoint, right? And you're trying to put people into stages, and it's kind of hard to put people into stages because they're people and they do what they do. But for the middle of the funnel, what I'm going to do here is give them a free strategy, right? So if you go through my content and my LinkedIn posts, you see there's a lot of strategies. I give away the strategy. It's really not a strategy because it's not custom. It's more so a plan, but people see that strategy and go, oh my God, that could work, right? So at this stage, they see the gap and they maybe have some type of personal interest or business interest to do this thing that you sell. In my case, they have a need or a want, I should say, to create a podcast, but they haven't even considered hiring any help. But they know they want to do it, and they have in their head a really good idea, right? But in this case, they didn't go ahead and even book a call or take any sort of action that would indicate to me that they want to potentially buy something. So this middle of the funnel don't fuss about it. Don't worry about it. What I would say is, if you're a founder, if you're a marketer, if you're a CEO, if you're somebody who needs to drive more high ticket sales, make the middle of your funnel something that's really easy for you to do, meaning just give away plans and strategies and formulas. Look at what you're doing with your clients. In this case, this is how I made this YouTube video. I looked at, hey, what am I doing for my own content or for my clients' content? And then I'm just going to show you exactly how I do it, right? So for your middle of the funnel, this is middle of the road. You don't want to spend a lot of time here, or else you might get hit by a car. So don't worry about it. Don't fuss over it. Just map it out, set it, forget it. Okay, moving on. Next up, we have the bottom of the funnel. This is where the fun happens, folks. This is where the magic happens. This is where you get the money. This is the best part. And in this case, we have the final 2 stages. Within these final 2 stages, we have number 4, which is they're ready to do the thing that you sell, but they're not ready to buy from you yet, right? They are trying to hire somebody, but they're not really sure who it is. And then the final stage in the bottom of the funnel is, we're gonna do this thing, we're going to hire somebody to help us, and we're either gonna hire you or we're gonna hire somebody else, okay? And this is where the magic happens. This is where you need to pay attention the most, because most likely, no matter what you sell, whether you sell investing, whether you sell law, whether you sell SEO, whether you sell ice cream, there is what's called an advantaged player. That means somebody has a family friend. That means somebody has an in from a colleague. That means the prospect knows somebody who they personally want to hire. But that doesn't mean they're going to hire them. That just means they have an advantage over you. So they're going to hire a vendor, and maybe their cousin knows somebody. Now that person is at a bigger advantage than you. So what can you do to break through and make yourself the obvious solution? Well, you have to have content that reflects that. So the bottom of the funnel is all about showing them not only what they're going to get when they work with you, but what everybody else gets, what everybody else got. For us, it's look at all these podcasts we've launched. Look at these founders, these CMOs, these CEOs that we've helped launch their podcast. Look, they're sitting on their podcast every single week and there's people listening to them and it's driving more revenue for their business. Don't you want that too? That's what you need to capture at the bottom of the funnel. So the next question is, okay, great. How do I actually do it? You're going to need interviews with your clients. And we have videos, podcasts, all about that, all over our YouTube channel. So if you're watching in the YouTube version right now, go ahead and click that button right here if you want to go and learn how to execute client interviews. But that's what you got to do. Either you have client interviews where your clients are literally talking for you. That's what we do. We have our clients on our podcast and they go ahead and sell to our audience for us, right? You can even have something as crazy as having a client help you sell to a prospect. It can be you, your client, and the prospect on a call. I don't care what it is, but this piece in the funnel is where people are starting to scratch their heads. This is where they're getting nervous. The bottom of the funnel is the most nervous part of the funnel. Not only for you, but also for the prospect. Think about what they're going through. They're trying to figure out, who am I going to spend all this money with? This is a lot of money. This is going to be a lot of time. And if I don't want to get 2 months in and realize, oh, this is not the right person for the job. This is not the right vendor for the job, right? So that's why the bottom of the funnel needs the most attention. And this is where you need to eliminate anxiety. You need to eliminate confusion. And I get it. I am spending a lot of time talking about the bottom of the funnel, but that's because it's the most important piece of this equation. And I can't tell you how many business owners screw this up. Because if I did, we would all go into major depressive disorder because it's brutal. And nobody's perfect, right? That's why you're here watching this video. So we're going to nail it. But confusion is the enemy, and so is anxiety. So you want to eliminate those and make sure you present your business, your offer, as the obvious solution. And you do that by having your clients talk. Let's recap. Here we have the high ticket marketing formula. Within that, we have each stage of the prospect journey. Below that, we have corresponding podcast episodes. And below that, we have corresponding posts with clips of those podcast episodes. Now, since we already went through the whole funnel, we're going to get even deeper and see how this actually works in reality. So we're going to zoom in and use my friend Jason as an example here. So I put out a post about how to create client interviews, which is part of the service that I sell. We have a strategy and a framework for creating these client interviews to do exactly what we do, to bring in clients, ideal clients from LinkedIn, most of the time without even booking a call, which is magic. So in this case, Jason commented on my post and said, "For fuck's sake, man, I gotta DM you now." Sounds good to me, right? So he's saying, hey man, I love this strategy. I actually gotta DM you. Let's talk. Boom, Jason DMs me. "Ryan, just saw your post on client interviews and helping people launch a podcast. I would love to learn more about your work and your methods." This is what's going to happen if you run this, folks. People will be in your DMs. That's what we do. Moving on from there, we have the Loom video. So I'm going to say, hey, Jason, sounds good, man. Appreciate that. I can send over a custom strategy to you this morning. From there, we can move to a call if everything looks good. Notice how I'm not pushing the call. People do not want more calls, folks. Just so you know, whether you're a business owner or you're a marketer, you're somebody working for a business owner, just know that business owners, they do not want more calls, man. They're trying to clear their calendar. And if they do want more calls, then they're probably crazy, and business owners are crazy. So I guess there's a couple crazy ones out there that might want more calls, but for the most part, I don't think they want more calls. Great. So then I make the Loom video. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and make that Loom video. I'm going to have a separate YouTube video about that, about how to go ahead and make those Loom videos. Then from there, we got the booked call. So I say, all right, cool. He liked the Loom video. right here. Let me zoom in for you. I watched the full Loom, and it's exactly what we're looking for. Again, folks, there's not even a call. I have not done a call with him yet, and he already said the price looks good, the package looks good, and this is exactly what I'm looking for. No call. There was not a discovery call, folks. We did it with a podcast. We did it with a LinkedIn post. We did it with a clip of the podcast, and then we did it with a Loom video. No call. Then we do book the call, right? Because the Loom video validates all of the different things that we need, all the check boxes, and then we need a call to confirm the package. We're not doing a call to discover things. This entire marketing formula is created to eliminate discovery. The discovery happens in the content, and then the call is for the confirmation to confirm when, how, the who, what, where, when, how of this project, right? It's really to confirm the scope of the project. And then from there, we have a start date or a deposit. In this case, I'm talking to Jason on December 5th. That's going to be our confirmation call. And then from that call, we'll go ahead and lock in the first call of the actual coaching, the actual package, right? And for reference, this is a $2,500 per month package that we sell. Okay, so you just got it end to end, right? Questions that usually come up here is, okay, I don't have a podcast, so what do I do? In this case, I would suggest making videos, 5 to 10 minute videos, that answer these questions or that fit each stage of the funnel. Ultimately, I would just suggest you make a podcast. And so what we do is we create a podcast and YouTube and LinkedIn strategy together, so it all works interchangeably. Podcast SEO for Apple and Spotify, YouTube SEO for YouTube and Google, the number 1 and 2 search engines in the world, and then the post-produced clip content from the podcast for the LinkedIn content. That content eliminates the discovery. This discovery happens in the content, and then people come into your DMs ready to buy. So if you don't have a podcast, I would just suggest doing it, because you can spend the time to create the strategy, and then every week there's no guess about what you're going to do. It's all there because you have to commit to that weekly schedule. But again, you don't have to do this. You can do this with 5 to 10 minute videos if you want to do it that way as well. If you have any other questions, please make sure you leave a comment below. Whether you like this, hated it, or you got some questions, make sure you leave a comment on that YouTube, in that comment section right below on YouTube. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe as well. And if you want to know how we create these videos, if you do want to get started without a podcast, the first link in the show notes is to the exact script, title, hook ideas, everything, my entire framework for creating these YouTube style podcast videos. It's right there. First link. It's going to take you right to a resource. There's so much there that you're going to have to get started. It's basically mandatory. Once you take a look at this script, you can hit the ground running and get going on that. So thank you so much for tuning into this. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to hit that subscribe, leave me a comment below, and finally, make sure to click that link if you want the exact script I use for these videos. My name is Ryan Sullivan. Catch you on the next.